Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gooners Gone Wild podcast. It has finished Arsenal 2, Wolves 0 in the first match of this Premier League season of the 24-25 calendar year. I'm here with the boy, Ari, and we're going to give you our post-match reactions live. Ari, say what's good, buddy.
What's good? What's good? Beautiful opening day. We started with a W. That's what I like to see.
We did
Can't be
start with
any
a W.
happier.
We did start with a W, especially since last season was a little bit of a rough start. But we were able to kind of break the season opener curse with a good win against Wolves. We'll kind of dissect some of the things that happened, but like Ari said, a W is a W, and we'll get right into it. So, first and foremost, let's talk about our star boy. Let's talk about the positives first. Let's talk about our star boy, Bukayo Saka, man of the match with an 8.9 rating, registering his first assist and goal of the season. And what a performance we saw for him. What did you think about Bukayo Saka today?
He's coming out and he's keeping the haters silenced.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be no talks of him not being world class because he's coming out and he's bagging 30 plus goal contributions this year, no doubt. No
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah, absolutely. And we saw the confidence within his dribbling that maybe we haven't seen in the past today.
Mm.
We're seeing him pull out some skill moves that we haven't seen
It
in a
looked a
very
little
long time.
sharper. I was going to say
Yeah.
it looked a little sharper. Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe that rest is all he needed after the Euros. So I don't know. Maybe he was just a little tired towards the end of the season. Kai Havertz again, another individual for the Arsenal, registering an assist and a goal today, setting off his goal contributions for the season. Again, King Kai
He's also
looking like.
bagging 30 plus.
Yeah, I was just going to say King Kai looking like he's about to bag 30 plus goals again this season. I don't want to say again this season, but as well as Saka this season. And I think just like you said with Saka, Havertz has really proven his haters wrong, especially you, who was a very big
Mhm.
criticizer of him last season. So,
Mhm.
Kai Havertz, what are you thinking about him?
I mean, to be fair, he deserved it last season. We talked about it a little bit on the first podcast. The first 5, 10 games, he just wasn't looking like his head was in it. Like but we said he had to shake that Chelsea curse off him. So he's finally free from the shackles of that terrible club. And he's in his golden era. He's married now. That's a married man. So I keep saying that Arteta got them all to get married, and it's changed all of their lives. That they've become ten
Marriage
times the
buff.
men they were. Yeah, they got the marriage buff. So
I want to bring up another individual who I was very impressed with today, and that was David Raya. Coming up huge with three great saves, three registered saves, but one of them being almost game saving towards the end
yeah,
of the first half there, with an incredible shot from Wolves being their new signing. I believe it's Larson, I believe his name is, with a towering header, and Raya already committing to the right side, then having to overcorrect to his left to make that incredible save. And I think he's also proving a lot of haters wrong, including myself this season. So, David Raya, are we seeing another Golden Glove from him this season?
uh, I think there's good shots for it. I think our defense is looking very very strong as well this year, and we obviously have the new signing in Calafiori to bolster that. So hopefully he'll come in and do a job defensively. But I think like the commentator said during the game, we probably have one of the strongest, if not the strongest, center back pairing in the world at the moment. So um, I think the boys will do a good job of keeping clean sheets this year as well. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's interesting that you brought up Calafiori, a name we thought was going to be featured today, but instead Mikel Arteta went for Jurriën Timber to come off the bench. Were you surprised with that decision?
I was also really really surprised with him giving the nod to Martinelli because Martinelli did not see a lot of time
Mm,
during the preseason. Like he didn't get the starts. It was consistently Trossard. So, and with the way that Martinelli performed last season, I really thought that Trossard was going to get the nod today, or even Jesus in a wide position. But I was surprised to see Martinelli get the start. But he didn't do too bad. He's just like I said, and I've said this to countless other people. Is not only is he one dimensional, but like it's also the fact that he doesn't get the same assistance that Saka gets. Like Saka has Odegaard on the right hand side to combine with, and he also gets overlapping runs from Ben, where Martinelli kind of almost has to create things on his own because Zinchenko inverts into the midfield, and then he doesn't get the overlapping runs, and he doesn't really get the combination play that Saka gets. So um, I think, and that's a lot of thing. That's one thing that I've seen a lot online is that the signing of Mikel Merino would bring a little bit more to our left hand side in helping us build up and make combination play happen on that side. So hopefully that's the case. But um, yeah, I got a little off topic there, but I was really surprised to see Martinelli get the nod.
Yeah, I actually really agree because I think Trossard and Jesus had a really strong preseason. Like you said, Martinelli didn't get a lot of time. Granted, that was due to the fact that I believe he was playing in the Olympics or playing. He had, I think, a summer tournament that he was playing in. But regardless, I can agree. Trossard comes on and we looked a lot sharper on that left hand side. And I don't want to say I'm wearing Martinelli's jersey right now. I don't want to say that it might be his time done here in Arsenal, but like you said, I think we need some more support there for him to get that the same assistance that Saka has on that left side for Martinelli. Let's talk a little bit about the negatives. Thomas Partey had a little rough second half. We'll talk about the minute 45, pretty much all the way up to the 70th minute, where we were kind of on the back foot there, with Wolves berating us with a good bit of a attacking play from them. I think Thomas Partey had a great first half. Don't get me wrong. We kind of saw the old Partey back in form, where he was taking space throughout the midfield. But then in that second half, he started to get a little bit lackadaisical, losing the ball a lot. Do you just think that maybe Thomas Partey is only featuring because we did not complete that signing of Mikel Moreno yet, or do you think that he's going to be kind of like the starting? I guess you would call that like a 6 or 8 position, not 8 position, but a 6 position, until like the 70th minute when we can get that sub out.
Yeah, I do think Mikel Marino would come in and do that job maybe a little bit better. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I still think Partey has class to him. He's still a good player, technically, and I think he does still have somewhat of the ability to beat the press and get himself out of dangerous situations where he is being pressed centrally. But like we've said, he's kind of lost a little bit of his physical prowess.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as easy for him to break presses like that. So I think Marino would come in and take his spot, but I'm not entirely sure. It's hard to say because I haven't watched a lot of Marino to know about his ability on the ball and how well he does, especially in the pace of the Premier League, where it's a lot faster and a lot more physical. So, yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
Um. Yeah, I don't know. I do kind of agree. I think we'll see Mikel Merino when he does come in, that we'll see him slide into where Declan Rice was playing today, and then Declan Rice kind of dropping a little bit deeper.
Oh, you
I
think Rice will play the 8 role instead
yeah,
of?
I do.
Okay.
Just because I think we saw Declan Rice struggle a little bit, kind of outside the top of the box today, which is unusual. I think there is some confidence issues with Declan Rice right now. I think the Euros was a little bit disappointing for him to his standards. However,
Mhm.
I think he'll do all right. I think he does need a little bit of a reassess, a little bit of a reset. And I think Mikel Moreno coming in and kind of taking that pressure off of him a little bit, it will be a good thing. But I don't know. I like Partey a lot when it comes to progressing the ball forward. He's really good
Mhm.
at picking the ball up midfield and then driving down the pitch to try to get the team forward. It's
Yeah.
just when we're kind of when we're kind of sitting back and trying to absorb some pressure, he's really not proficient in being able to uh, kind of just accept the fact that he needs to possess the ball quicker, or maybe even for longer periods of time. He seems to kind of find the outlet right away, and we lead to stupid passes, which is something
Mhm.
we actually saw from Saliba today a couple times, which was a little nerve-wracking. But again, I think we saw it kind of similar last season, just kind of preseason nerves. Again, he's
Mhm.
young. He's now dubbed one of the best center backs in the world, so the pressure could be getting to him a little bit. But regardless, I think it was a solid showing from the Arsenal.
For sure.
Nothing that I'm worried about. Um, The only big problem factor is something that you brought up already, and that was Martinelli's lack of creativity and lack of being able to make those that recreate that 22-23 year
Mm.
of creativity. But I'm sure it's just game one of the season. So you can't say Saka. Other than Saka, who was your man of the match today?
Uh, I'd probably give it to Havertz.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Mm.
I agree. I think Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz played really well.
Mm.
I think my runner-up, if I wouldn't say Kai Havertz, I would actually give it to David Raya, just because I feel like
Yeah.
he had a lot of good influential moments within the game today. And you know what? I think Wolves put a lot of teams on notice with today's display as well. They didn't get bossed around the pitch like we all thought, even though they took the loss. But I think that 20-minute spell, if they can go at teams like they did us for that 20 minutes for the whole
Mm.
90, I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
Yeah. Yeah, that 20-minute spell was definitely a little shaky. Definitely had us on the back foot for a little bit there. And that comes with every game. You can't be pressing and dominating possession the way we do for the entirety of the game. It's not feasible. Um, so I think we did well to absorb that pressure. Um, but yeah, I think the second best player for me on the pitch today was Partey. If not, obviously Bukayos first,
Right, right, right.
Havertz, and then I think Partey. I think he did an excellent job of breaking up play, um, and every time he did get the ball, he was. I mean, there were a handful of times where he lost possession, but I think for the most part, he did a good job of uh, progressive carries and finding um, the ball between the lines and moving us forward. So
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably put him up there, but
Yeah.
yeah,
He had a solid game. He had a really
yeah,
solid game, and I think
yeah.
he was able to somewhat protect Gabriel and Saliba in some shaky moments. And
Mm-hmm.
you gotta give credit due. Like I said, do I think he drops out of the starting 11 once Moreno comes in? I do think.
Mm-hmm.
But depth. That's what we're looking for. That's what we've been looking for. So, all right. Any other final comments you would like to make about this post game reaction?
Crazy that we saw Saka come off the pitch.
Oh
No.
yes. Yes, Saka got a little bit of a rest in the last 15 minutes.
Trossard usually gets so done for Martinelli, but not today.
Not today.
We rested Saka for one time.
Saka demanded Arteta to rest him. Be like, listen, boss, I'm not playing all 90 for 39 games this season like I did last season. I need a break. No, I
What do
agree.
you think happened with his knee there? I didn't really. Was it? Do
Hmm.
you think there was contact on the end of his swing, or do you think he
I
just
think he just
twisted it?
overextended or twisted it.
Okay.
I don't think there was as much contact. I'm not gonna lie, my stomach dropped to my
Oh, me
ass when he
too.
went down. Especially when you see the replay, he takes a shot, he has the rotation, and then immediately reaches for the knee and falls down. I'm
Uh,
like, dude, if we have an ACL, MCL injury this early again, and it's Saka, we might be in for some trouble.
yeah.
But I think he did well. And I think again it was just like a little bit of a tweak.
Mm,
Being the resident bad knee haver of the GGW podcasts, there's times where the knee twists and it feels a little bad, but you can keep
yeah.
going. That's actually gonna bring up one thing I want to talk about Saka. I think he needs to work on his discipline a little bit. Kind of losing his head and getting a really unnecessary yellow card. It wasn't a yellow worthy foul, and the frustration to just then lace the ball into the back of the net. I'm not talking Van Persie style. I'm talking like a whole like 30 seconds after the whistle blew because he was
Mm,
unhappy to pick up the yellow. I think that was a little bit of a lapse of judgment there. But hopefully that's just a one-off situation and
yeah.
not something we see the whole rest of the season. So.
Yeah, I don't see him typically getting carded very often. I don't think he had very many cards last year. So I feel like it was just a one-off situation. But
Yeah. And to all the Saka haters out there, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
mhm.
He's going to do better than Pen Merchant Cole Palmer. He's going to do better than Ronaldo Regen Garnacho. All right? He's the best winger in the Prem. I'm saying it right now. Salah had his time. Yeah, he bagged the goal today, but he's fast. Ooh, look at Salah. No, best winger in the Prem, Bukayo Saka, hands down.
Maybe if he has a couple more years of keeping it up, I think Salah still has it over him. But I think in a couple of years, in like 2 or 3 more years, if he's doing this consistently still, I think we could give it to Saka, honestly, because he's been doing it for what, like 4 or 5 years now, like
Yeah.
since he was 18. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. And if you're watching
so.
this on YouTube and listening to the Spotify, that's what we call clip farming. So go follow the TikTok, go follow the Instagram, and go see and go
Oh,
rack up the
my bad.
impressions. No, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
no,
okay.
no. Saka's winning Ballon d'Or. He's 20 times the player Salah has ever been. Like, there's no way, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh shit. All right. Any final other questions, comments, concerns, wrap ups?
No, I was just gonna add on to that and say, like, like, what has Salah ever won, like, for his country? Like the trophies are coming home for England now that Southgate is gone. So Saka's winning everything. Like, in the next like 2-3 years, like, he'll have won everything in the game, and his entire career will be
With
finished.
Southgate holding him back.
his entire career will be finished by 25 because he's that much better of a player than Salah.
True. Agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed. All right. So with that being said, we'll see you guys later on the week for our weekly podcast. If you guys enjoy, please subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. Listen to these on Spotify. It means more than you know. If you guys are watching the shorts on TikTok and Instagram, go drop a follow. Go drop some love. And we will see you guys in the next podcast. And as always, all I get to say, come on, you Gooners.
Come on, you Gooners.
Oh, my God.